Hey everyone, it's adorable Daniela, and what you may not know about me is that I am a huge Souls fan. So I recently bought a PlayStation 4 in order to buy Bloodborne, and I'm loving the game so far. I ran into a really tough boss. I am right before the split between going to Nightmare of Mensis or Nightmare Frontier, but in one of the lower chalices I ran into the Undead Giant, but he has a club and this ball of chains, basically, and he is, at least to me, the hardest boss that I've run into in the game. And I couldn't find many videos on him, and specifically how to fight him, so I'm creating this video to show you exactly how you can beat this variant of the Undead Giant. Alright, so real quickly, I'm just gonna show off my character stats so you can see exactly what I'm working with. The main ones are that I'm level 84, Vitality is 26, Endurance is 20, and 47 is for my strength. Now, I can't remember if I actually did level my strength to 50 before I was able to beat the boss, but I do know that I fortified my Hunter's Axe to +9, and I also brought an empty Phantasm Shell in order to buff it with Arcane. So if you haven't already gotten it, I recommend you go to Brigandworth first and get the empty Phantasm Shell, and then you'll have a little bit easier time with the boss. So, like many bosses in the Dark Souls series and as well in Bloodborne, this boss has two stages. In the first, he's not nearly as aggressive or as dangerous as his second form, and he'll change to his second form around slightly less than 50%, I think about 45%. Now, in his first stage, he has several different powerful attacks still, despite it being the lesser of the two forms. He has a club attack, which he can use either one or I believe up to 4 times, and then he may or may not also do a sickle slash at the very end, where he kind of like extends forward in a slightly longer range than his regular attack. Now, for that first stage, there is one attack that we basically want him to do the whole time, so we kind of want to bait him into it. I recommend that you turn your camera off completely, or I mean just don't lock on, because you'll want to be able to roll underneath this attack, and you'll see in the video this is what I do in order to beat him. This makes his first form very, very easy. And in order to bait him to constantly use the sickle slash, where he will pull his sickle back from the left and slash to the right, is to stay kind of on his left side, your right side to him, and kind of just stay around that right leg. The other reason for turning off your camera and making it so you can roll in and such is that when you slash, you want to slash at his legs. The reason for this is because it'll cause him to stagger after about 10-12 hits or so, depending on how much damage you're doing. And I recommend that after the roll you do 2 attacks, or just 1 if you're not feeling safe enough. Sometimes he will pull back slightly further than normal, and he'll do multiple slashes. So basically, in order to avoid this, after rolling his first sickle slash and doing at least 2 attacks, just roll out of there in any direction as quickly as you can, but away from the boss, and then just repeat the steps. And that's pretty much what you're going to do for his first form. If he does use his club attack, then you'll want to run to the left or just stay far away from it by backing up from him. But if you run to the left and he's using his club, you can sometimes kind of get behind him and slash at his legs, but again, make sure you're not locked on. Otherwise, you'll hit this little growth or mutation or whatever that's on the back of his body, and you don't want to hit that. You want to try your best not to hit that until he is well below 45% and through his into his second form. One other thing that I didn't mention because I didn't think I would have to, but then realized I probably should, is once he has staggered, you want to quickly get off of attacking him clearly and go in front of him for a Visceral Attack. It's just R1 at basically his head level, and then you'll get a Visceral Attack. In the video, I do this twice, and again, that's the reason for attacking his legs while he's in his first form. Alright, so once he's in his second form, he becomes considerably more dangerous, and again, this should happen around 45%, where his health is at 45%. The main one to watch out for is he's gonna pull his sickle back really far, and he'll swing over, and then the ball and chain that's around his head, he'll swing it at a very significant amount of range. Like, it'll feel like maybe he shouldn't be able to hit you where you're at, but he probably will. If this happens, the best thing that you can do, and basically this is the same thing that we're gonna bait. As much as it is a very difficult attack to avoid, it's what we want. You want to wait until he kind of is about halfway between slamming his sickle to the ground and pulling the ball and chain, swinging that around. It's a little bit of a sweet spot, but anyways, you can dodge right at that point by rolling underneath it and then just getting a couple hits in on his legs. And now that he's at about 45%, all you really need to do to finish this fight is hit the little mutation that's on the back of his body, and that should completely kill him. However, you may have to do the dodges a few times, and in the video you'll notice that I do miss a couple times. I do get hit a few times. And one other piece of advice that's very important is that you try to keep this boss for the entire fight as close to the middle of the arena as possible. It gives you the best breathing room, and if he does get you backed into a corner and he's using that ball and chain attack at the end, which is like his super attack, just run away to the opposite direction. He also has an AoE slam where he slams the sickle and the chains into the ground, and it hits for a pretty decent range around him, so just stay away from him. I have seen people try to run up and hit him because he is vulnerable after the first one. However, he usually does the second one, so I recommend you don't do that. And if you have any more trouble with the boss, just comment down below and I'll see what I can do to help you out. I really appreciate you guys watching the video. Thanks so much for watching. And please like it if you liked it and if it helped you out. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel for more Bloodborne and other gaming content, possibly more boss strategies. Thanks so much. You have a wonderful rest of your day. Alright, bye-bye.